Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to Tactical Lux. For this episode, we'll be analyzing a play from my live stream. Immediately prior to this fight, I've used a binding to force a flash from Teemo, and a Lucent Singularity to remove Blitzcrank's spell shield. Graves is initiating on Shen. We know Teemo and Blitzcrank are nearby, but we haven't accounted for Sejuani or Katarina. Note that I'm behind this wall, and I will stay near it for most of this fight. My goal is to use my longer range to stay safe from their initiation and their burst. As Shen flashes away from Graves, Sejuani dashes over the wall right next to Akali and Varus. This engagement looks messy. After all, we're split up and they can all pile on our Akali, whom they consider to be the biggest threat. But the fact is, both teams have a lot of area effect damage and crowd controls, which is especially dangerous in tight areas of the jungle. By staying spread apart, we're not all getting hit by Sejuani and Blitzcrank's ultimate, or Katarina's Death Lotus. This single moment is the biggest deciding factor in this team fight. It's extraordinarily rare as Lux to get such a clean shot on an enemy team, and my final spark laser will hit these 4 players with no problem. Though I didn't realize it at the time, this also hits Teemo, who is just off screen. Because Final Spark consumes Lux's passive, I dealt bonus damage to Graves with his cast. But as clean as this shot was, the Varus Chain of Corruption ultimate and Alistar knockup that were about to occur would have given me enough time to land Lucent Singularity, which was just about off cooldown. Had I done this, I would have burned my passive on 3 more players as well. The downside to this is that Graves would have lived long enough to do just a little bit more damage. At this point, we're all alive and they're very low. I have fired my second prismatic barrier of the fight, landing on 2 teammates who are perilously low on health. While this won't save Akali, it does give her enough time to deal more burst damage. When we started this fight, we were a little behind the enemy team, and whoever won the fight was going to immediately move to take the enemy Nexus. Fortunately, our team had good positioning in this fight, and our opponents engaged too hard on Akali, forgetting the dangers of the Varus and the Lux. This play could have been improved. If my Lucent Singularity had been off cooldown as we entered the fight, that would have allowed more damage on my ultimate. Additionally, I likely could have landed a couple more normal attacks to burn my passive on opponents. And I fired my final light binding on Katarina while her Shunpo was available, which, although it had no practical impact on the fight, was a poor choice. Thanks for watching this episode of Tactical. Let me know how the enemy team could have played this better in the comments below.